Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to share with you a brilliant attacking game played by Indian chess grandmaster Surya Ganguly. His opponent is Kazakhstani chess grandmaster Anuar Ismagambetov, and the game was played in 2006 in New Delhi. But before starting our game, first want to sharpen your tactical skills. Please take a look at this position and try to find the mating line for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Back to our main board, and now without further ado, let's get started with this fascinating game and see what happened on the board. Ganguly opened up with e4 and Ismagambetov responded with e5. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. We have the Ruy Lopez, knight f6, black is choosing the Berlin defense, white castles kingside, knight takes e4, d4, knight d6, and bishop a4. Not the most popular continuation, usually in here white is capturing on c6, but in our game we have bishop a4, this is the Showalter variation. Here comes e takes d4, c3, and bishop e7. Well, black could also capture on c3, though I have to tell you that this looks a bit risky because in this line, as a compensation for 2 pawns, white is gaining a ferocious attack. White actually has a very active position and is difficult to play with the black pieces. That's why after c3, black played bishop e7. Here we have c takes d4, black castles kingside, knight c3, and knight f5. This is the first inaccuracy in this game. Instead of playing knight f5, it was better to play knight c4 with the idea of meeting d5 with knight e5. But in our game we have knight f5, and the problem with this move is that after d5, what are you going to do with your knight? Here Ismagambetov moved back the knight on its initial square, which, believe me, is not a pleasant choice at all. d6, another powerful move by Ganguly, with which he's gaining a precious time to make his pieces more active. Bishop c2 was played. This bishop now will support the queen from behind. Knight e8. Black wants to bring his knight on f6 square, and also in some cases wants to open up the bishop's diagonal in order to develop it. Rook e1, knight c6. Well, playing c6 and then playing d5 is better. If queen d3, then g6, and if bishop h6, then according to the engine, there's no need to worry. You can play d5 and allow white to win this rook. Solving the development of the queenside pieces is of course more important than this rook, but in our game after rook e1 we have knight c6. Here comes knight d5, g6. Well, with this move black is weakening his kingside too much. Instead it was better to play d6, and if queen d3, then f5. But in our game we have g6, and later in our game we will see how Ganguly will make use of the weaknesses of the long diagonal. Here comes bishop h6, knight g7, which is a total blunder. Well, it was better to play bishop f6 and allow white to win that rook, but in our game we have knight g7, to which Ganguly answered with a powerful move, and he went for an exchange sacrifice. Look at this beautiful exchange sacrifice, guys, with which white is removing black's dark squared bishop, and already black king is becoming very vulnerable. Knight takes e7. Here we have bishop g5, a very unpleasant pin for black, rook e8, and knight f6 check. This is a total destruction, guys. Black pieces are on the 7th rank, while this bishop and the knight all the time are harassing black king. King h8, this time we have queen d4. Already white wants to play knight takes e8. Black played rook f8, moved away his rook, and as we have reached the critical position, please pause the video and try to find white's next moves. Ready? In here, Surya Ganguly went for a piece sacrifice and captured on h7, though I have to tell you that queen h4 is also very strong. The idea is to meet h5 with knight takes h5 with a ferocious attack. But in our game we have knight takes h7, king takes h7, queen h4 check, king g8, and there it goes, bishop takes e7, queen e8, and this time the knight is coming with a direct mating threat, knight h5, and a beautiful queen sacrifice by Ganguly. Queen takes h5, this is move 24, and we have it, a queen sacrifice. In here, black resigned in view of the following lines. Now, if a move like g takes h5, which is forced, then white can play bishop f6 with bishop h7, mating threat. And now all black can do is to give away his rook in order to gain a precious time and open up an escaping square for his king, but after bishop d5, white's position is totally winning. If rook e6, then knight takes e6, and white can easily convert this position to a victory. That's why after this impressive queen takes h5 sacrifice, we have a resignation. A very impressive game by Surya Ganguly, which I hope that you enjoyed greatly. Well, thanks for watching. Feel free to share this game with your friends as well. Let them know about this beauty. I will see you in my next video. Take care.